Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. I drove back from Pendine earlier today, and the further and further I got into the journey, the more and more I started suffering from overheating. But I've just come out and checked the torque on the head bolts, and on that side, the other side, I seem to move virtually all of them a little bit, probably about 10 degrees, something like that. On this side, some of them seemed okay and some of them moved a similar amount or slightly less. So I don't know what's causing this overheating. I will start investigating and see if just tightening those tips the balance back in the direction of it being okay. Okay, right, so that's my little report, that I've just retorqued the heads in the hope, possibly vain hope, that will do some good. Right, I'll bring you back when I've got more to report. Cheers then, bye. Hello, it's the morning after I arrived back from Pendine. I've pulled the spark plugs just out of interest to see if I can see anything on the plugs. These are the plugs from this side, so it's actually 1 to 4 that way. Number 1 actually does look a bit wet. That one looks quite clean. That one looks sort of clean. That one has some sort of a thing on the tip, something on the tip. I don't know what that is. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 5 looks like it was a bit leaner than the others. Number 6 looks kind of okay, I think. Number 7 similar to number 6. Number 8 looks rather wet. Oh, that one's so wet. Okay, that'll do for now. Just realised that I need to do something. That's it. That's full up. There's the level, which coincides with that there. So you can see the water. Can you see the water? No, this is water. There's no coolant in this now. I'll get it ready for a test drive. I'll put new plug. I'm putting new plugs in. Okay. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I've got a problem. Is that normal? Or is that just finding its own level? Well, it's still coming out while it's not running. Is that good? Is that just air coming out the system? There isn't any particular smell to it. I don't know if combustion gases would have a certain smell to them. Okay, let's carry on then. Supposed to be doing that. That's not good, is it? Something's wrong. Okay, I've got it back in the garage, and there's something wrong, isn't there? I'm going to pull the heads, but I'm going to let it cool down first. If you listen carefully, you can hear like localized boiling, or at least water coming past the thermostat or something. It's a little bit, that's boiling hot, making all sorts of funny noises. Okay, righto, sounds like something's wrong. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Just come back to the garage, so it's only 5 minutes later, and it's sucked all that back in. Look, you can hear it trying to suck it. So if that's sucking, this isn't under pressure, is it? So let's take this off. We'll open that tap there and see where the level is. That's how much water it's thrown out in that short trip from there down to there, which isn't a massive volume because it's only in these pipes. But you would expect it to, you know, throw a bit out, but not that much. That's, you know, what, 5 mile, if that. Okay. So that little system works well, doesn't it, for giving an indication. Righto, I'm going to have to drain it out now anyway, so... But I won't do it quite yet, I'll let it cool down a bit first. So, which way is it to turn it off? That way. That's it. Okay. Just I got water draining out of that side there. Look, I'm one of those little petcocks with the pipe on it. But I'm just showing you the usefulness of this. I've got the pipe there showing me the water level inside. And for instance, I know I'm okay to take this off now because the water level is below here. That water level is down here now. As soon as it gets down to there, as soon as it gets down to about here, I can take the head off. I can see signs of leakage on that one. Let's get the other one and then I'll do a bit of an inspection of both of them. I can't actually see much wrong with this one. There was water in there and water in there, but I don't know if that's because I loosened the head nuts slightly too quickly and it hadn't quite drained down yet. I'm not sure, I don't know. On this side, these are the two rearmost plugs and they don't look like they've had water on them. If anything, that one there looks like, well, I just don't know. That one looks a bit lean. This one doesn't look too bad. I can't see any signs of combustion, blow through. Possibly a tiny hint there, maybe. I think this one's okay. On this side, now this is number 1 cylinder, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. On this one you can see some evidence of kind of blow through down there and there, maybe, and maybe there. Possibly there. Looks like maybe something there, look through to there, which is there. But definitely something there, which is kind of there. Well, I haven't got any more of these gaskets, so what I think I will do is go on the Ford barn and ask 2 questions. One, if you put copper stuff on a gasket, do you let it dry before you fit it? 2, what torque figure do people recommend for aluminium heads when you're using bolts? I had these done up to 50. Yeah, there's a crack there, look. So I think it's just a case of cleaning it up and refitting, crossing fingers and hope it works a second time around. It might be that although I retorque the heads 2 or 3 times, well, at least 3 times, after giving it a good thrashing, it still took a considerable turn on some of the bolts to bring them up to torque, so they had relaxed and lost their torque, which is another lesson learned. You know, I've got a little bit of experience, but I don't have a lot of experience, and everything I do, it's always a learning curve. Other than a slightly stripy sort of finish in the bores, you know, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, let's see if we can get this back into running order. Thank you, I'll catch you later, bye. I was just cleaning these gaskets with a view to refitting them. I've got some copper spray. This is the one from the left hand side of the car. Now this is the one that appears to have failed, but what I noticed when I started cleaning it, let's swap them over. What I noticed is that, can you see that the intermediate layer has gone that way? Look, see, this one's in place, this one has gone there. So imagine this edge of this piece has gone that way, so there's no clamp here because the intermediate piece is missing. That's what I'm thinking has happened. Look, and here it is even worse. Look, see how far it has moved. So that's pretty wild, isn't it? I can't explain that. I don't know how that has happened, but that, I think this one actually would run okay if it was put back in, but this one, no matter how much spray compound I put on it, it won't be any good. So what does that mean? I have actually just ordered some gaskets, but I'm more or less limited to what I can buy from Rock Auto. And what I've been able to buy from Rock Auto are some 8BA type big bore gaskets. I've got some used 8BA type, hang on. These don't appear to have had any creep on them, so I think these are okay. So I've got some more of these coming. So what would happen if I use this gasket on here? Well, it'll go okay on there, won't it? Because that's actually where it's supposed to go. That actually matches. So if I use this on here, there's no reason why that shouldn't work, is there? That's just hanging in midair. So if I just cut that down there for the sake of tidiness, that would actually go there and work okay. I think I might do that while I'm waiting for the other gaskets to come in. But I think what I might do is, I know it sounds, you know, make do and mend, but the gasket from this side I believe was okay, so I will just reuse that, I think, because this is the one that's a little bit more, got a little bit more of a compromise on it. I think it goes that way, doesn't it, with the larger holes to the rear, those larger holes there. So that's the problem there, is that that hole is so close to the edge there, that would leak. You can imagine there's water there, so that would, the water in that head would come to this hole, and the hole that would leak there, I think, you know, more than likely. So seeing as this gasket, which is the one from that side, appears to be okay, I think I'll put some copper sealant on this and I will fit it and refit the head. I will come back when there's more to show. Back in a bit. Just put the gasket in place on this side. It's got that copper spray on it, still tacky. The gasket, the modified 8BA type gasket, is fitted this side and the head's gone on. Okay, that'll do. I'll come out tomorrow and do a bit more. And I'll see you in a little bit. I've just driven about 3 or 4 miles and it's pushing some water out. It's pushed quite a lot out all over the engine and here, look. But there's no massive bubbles in it like there was. So I don't know if this is just finding its own level. The radiator cap's in place. Okay. Alright, I'll fair bit coming out, isn't there? Okay, I'll drive back gently because I haven't got any spare water in the car. Not very happy, is it? The weird thing is, it doesn't actually read very hot on the gauge. What's it's reading now? It's reading about 160. Okay, I'll turn it off. Now, just a hint or tip, the electric fan is wired to the accessory terminal, so if I turn it off and then onto the accessory terminal, I can run the electric fan. Yeah, you can feel some heat being dissipated through the radiator. Then hopefully this will get sucked back in, and once that's sucked back in, I can use this tube to see where the level is. Hello, I put the car back in the garage and it's about an hour and a half later, and it's cooled down. It's just a little bit of warmth left in the motor, and it's sucked that water back in. So I'll be interested in to see where the level lies now. Here's my little spanner. Where's my little spanner? Well, it's only there, look. It's no good, is it? I mean, that's not even covering. That's not even covering the valves, is it? I just went for a local drive and come back, and it was sitting idling okay. But as I've turned it off, even with the fan on, it's boiling up now. Put this catch can on, you know, just a temporary fitment. Something wrong, isn't there? There's something wrong somewhere. It's just that it's probably just thrown so much water out, there isn't enough water in it. But why would it throw the water out? Okay, I don't quite know what's going on. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I mean, the fact that that was boiling then tells me that you can't rely on this, because what I think is that the water is lower than the temp sender. You know, it wouldn't boil at 170 degrees, would it? Just noticed it's drawing the fluid back in, look. It's a bit higher than that, it's up there. which isn't very high though, is it? Crap. It's useless, isn't it? Well, that's interesting. I've just driven the same distance I drove yesterday and that bowl is empty. I've done two things. I put an extra rubber piece under the radiator cap and I took the thermostats out. So I don't know which of those two things has made a difference, but something's made a difference. So that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, I'll carry on with my road test then. It's quite good, isn't it? Because it's quite a warm day today. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, back in a bit. Just got back to the house. I've turned the engine off. The temperature is above 200, but it wasn't boiling. It's running okay, and it hasn't ejected any water. There's no water in that catch can. So yeah, so something that I've done appears to have made a big difference, and it's either taking the thermostats out or putting the extra washer on the rad cap. I want to go to classic car run later, so I want to investigate further so I can put the thermostats in if it's not the thermostat. So what I think I'm going to do is go and boil a pan of water on the stove and put the thermostats in to see if they open. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, look, the one on the right is open, the one on the left is closed, so I think that must have failed. That's what's caused me all the problems. And interestingly, you need to look at these the other way around, because that one is on the left hand side of the engine and that one is on the right hand side of the engine, and that is the side that's got the temperature sender on it. So I didn't know that this one was failed and causing the right side of the engine to get hot. Okay, right, so at least we found the smoking gun, so that's good, isn't it? So it's the thermostat that's caused the problem. Okay, back in a bit. Hello, I've drained the water down to a certain level. Might be able to, oh, no, it's down below there. These are my new thermostats that I've bought. The one closest to me is unmodified, and that one there I've kind of ground the edge down, and this goes in there now. Well, it goes in anyway, but this is the unmodified one, and you can see that it goes in there, but you know, there's a big rib sticking around, big piece sticking around the edge there. So this one has been ground down, and that kind of just sits on top there now. Up inside here is a ring. Up inside there is a metal ring that retains the thermostat, holds it down. So I'll put the hose back on. That will hold it down, and that'll be in place then. I might drill a hole in it just to allow air to come up. Sometimes they leave like a little kind of divot on the seat, so there's a little bit of the seat that doesn't seal. but I can't see that on this one. I just drilled a 3.5mm hole in there, so that's just over 1/8 of an inch. So that will allow air to come through. You can't drill it too far out because you know you've got metal there. Look. Okay, that'll do. I'll put the hose back on and button it up, and then do the other side. This is that gasket that failed where the interlayer came out and lost the pressure at that point. So I just broke a piece out. Let's get another piece. And it's a bit, I don't know what the material is. Breaks quite easily. This is the piece. This is the stuff from that other gasket, that one that I cut the end off to use, you know, it's a 8BA type gasket, and this is much better. It's got like a steel, you know, some sort of probably stainless steel or something inner. It's got metal in it basically. So that is a much superior gasket to this, and this is a best. So I would suggest that that isn't the best, to use the obvious pun. This one's a Velcro, and these are the ones I've ordered. Some of these to use you know, in the future, either as 8BA types or even if it's a 59A as well. And what I've done, I've ordered the ones that have got the piece on the end to use on the 59A setups, because I can get these from Rock Auto. I'm more or less limited to what I can get from Rock Auto, but they have the 8BA type, and they are Velcro, and they are copper like this. And this is the lining material, this superior material. That is a load of crap. So I think that what happened was, get rid of that. I think that what happened was this material went gooey when there was a overheating situation due to the sticking thermostat, and it all slid out, and it just lost its pressure sealing abilities, you know, around this edge. So thank you very much, Best Gasket, that's great. Hello. Right, I've topped up the water, and I brought it up more or less to just the base of this area here. So that's going to be okay for the next time I drive it. I used my tube to be able to judge where the level was, and I found that pretty useful, to be honest. I'm going to leave this in place, even though it just doesn't look very nice. It's not particularly very noticeable when the hood sides are down, so that'll stay in place as part of my sort of test equipment. And then depending on how it all goes, I will possibly just put a little slim catch can in that area there. Okay, righto, jolly good progress made. Done some work on the truck today, put the new thermostats in here, got some antifreeze, put that in, and you know, hopefully this is ready to go. Hello, I fitted the thermostats yesterday, and this evening we've just been for a ride round, probably about 10 mile, 15 miles, something like that. And the there's no water ejected at all. These hoses are nice and warm. In other words, the water is here, and everything, the engine ran really nice. I was reviewing my video footage, and I saw that little bit where I'd looked at that spark plug and it was really fouled and horrible, and I looked at that earlier and it didn't look too bad. So whatever was wrong at that particular time appears, not to have continued. The temperature gauge throughout the whole journey, well, once it had warmed up, just was rock solid at 170. Never wavered. It was just absolutely bang on. So I'm very pleased with that. The only thing that is concerning me is the diff. Sounds very noisy. It's not happy at all, and I could feel it all the way down to Pendine and all the way back. So that is going to need some attention at some point. But by and large, and all in all, and at the end of the day, no, great. I've overcome the problem with the thermostat and overcome the problem with the blown head gasket. So all good. Running really well, actually. Yeah, really good. And it feels strong and powerful when you open it up. Okay, thanks very much for tuning into Mart's Garage. I appreciate everybody's taking time to watch the videos, and it's always good when people leave a comment and subscribe as well if you haven't subscribed already. So you take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.